Hey, everybody. Happy Tuesday. I'm going to go through and answer some creative finance questions today. So thank you so much for joining me. I'm so excited. I only have 45 minutes. I know for those of you that know me, I go live really, really long. I usually will go live 4, 5, 6, 7 hours sometimes. And so thank you guys so much for tuning in. I'm sorry I only have 45 minutes. So I'm going to go through this as quick as I possibly can. Today, by the way, I bought 2 houses subject to. I just got off a call. I have all this momentum, like all this momentum. Whenever you buy something or you do something awesome and incredible, you feel this forward momentum that really catches on. But today, I'm going to talk about some awesome collaboration that I just did with Rawbuilt. So, Rawbuilt, who is an awesome, awesome YouTube creator, he's also a Bigger Pockets personality. Him and I did a recent collaboration on a property that I bought subject to. So today, I'm going to go through and I'm going to answer the questions that are in his comments. So thank you guys for tuning in. Hundreds of people are already on here between my YouTube channel and our Facebook group. So thank you so much. If you guys have some questions or comments, please give me some love as well. And I'll make sure that we answer whatever questions you have. So here we go. For those of you that needed me to come in and answer some questions, happy to do it. We have 255 comments. Actually, a lot of these comments are mine because I came in and answered questions for his audience. Something that I love doing is making sure that people have the answers that they need. All right, cool. So V-Evil, this is from yesterday, says, what happens in this case if Pace stops making those payments for whatever reason? What are the ramifications for that seller, for Pace, etc.? Super helpful video, getting into the actual weeds of creative financing, very beneficial subject. So first and foremost, if you guys are coming from the Rawbuilt world, just so you guys know, I do have the largest YouTube channel about creative finance. So a lot of these questions have already been answered, and they've been answered in depth, like 45 minutes per question have been answered in depth. Another thing you can do is you can find my SubTo students are all over the country. You can find them in my Facebook group, Creative Finance with Pace Morby. You'll be able to find it. So the first question is, what happens if Pace stops making the payments? Well, let's forget about creative finance for just a second. What happens if you stop making the payments on your credit card bill? What happens if you stop making payments on your car payment? What happens if you stop making payments on your house payment? Well, it's actually way worse in the traditional world than it is in creative finance. Okay. In the regular world, like if you stop making payments on your American Express can't come to your house and take the items back that you bought with their money using the credit card. There's no security. Okay. In the regular world of debt, there is no security. If you buy a house, let's say I go to Chase, right? Wells Fargo, Rocket Mortgage, Loan Depot, whatever it is, and I go buy a house with traditional financing, and I stop making those payments, that finance company or that banker or that lender has to foreclose on me. They have to go through a judicial process and foreclose on me. In creative finance, our sellers don't have to do that. Okay. I have the ability to draft my documents in a way that the seller gets the property back if I ever miss a single payment. So we protect the sellers through something called a performance deed or performance clause that we write in the note and deed of trust. I know this is a very quick answer. Some of it's going to go over some people's heads that are brand new. I apologize. I only have 45 minutes because I have another house to go by. I have to be there at 4:15. I have to leave here at 3:45 to get there on time. Okay. So there you go. There's the answer. The answer is, in creative finance, my documents protect the seller. My documents allow the seller to take the property back in the event of my default without going through a full arduous foreclosure default process. Okay. Ruby, thank you so much. Question, Jamin says, question, if doing short-term rental Airbnb remotely, how do you find someone to help set up a vacant property? For instance, someone to be there when you have furniture and other items to be delivered, no boot. So I don't know if it's Jamin or Haman, but I can tell you the most important thing that you need in this world is a community of people. Okay. I did not have a community of people when I first started, so I created one. You guys hear the SubTo community, SubTo community, SubTo community. It is my group of people that are doing deals with each other all over the country. In fact, if I go into my private Facebook group real quick, okay, let's go into my private Facebook group and you'll see how much people are collaborating with each other, and you'll see how much help you need. You need to be able to be tied into a community of people that are helping each other. So check this out. Okay, Northern California, I want to meet everybody. Okay, that's a brand new fresh post. New to real estate. Okay, cool. There's one that was just in here that Renee, they're sharing information. So here you go. Brandon Whitley, 21 hours ago. Ooh, thank you. Eric brought me my lunch. Thank you, Eric. $31,000 or $30,000 a piece. This is my first time seeing this. So that's cool. This mentorship changed my life. Cool. Now you could join a paid one. I'm sure that Rob Built has one that's a paid community that you could jump into. I have a student this morning, actually. Her name is Renee. She just made $96,000 on her first deal. Okay. Freaking $96,000. Absolutely amazing. Let's see if I can find her. Let's pull it up. Give her some love. 96,000 there. There it is. Renee Kilgore, 2 hours ago, posted. I'm so excited, still in shock. Closed my first wholesale deal. By the way, guys, I do teach wholesale. I teach fix and flip. I teach Airbnb. I teach raising capital, corporate structure. Everything I do in my business, I teach inside of SubTo. So all my students do teach or learn wholesale. My assignment fee was $96,650. I did it all with no money out of my pocket. Thank you so much, Pace Jordan Morby and the SubTo community. This is the operative word right here. You need a community of people that you can rely on. So I understand that not everybody can join a mentorship. So what I did is I created a free Facebook group where my students can go from that paid group I just showed you, and they can come in here and love on you. There's 70,000 members in here. About 7,000 of them are my SubTo students that come in, help you. Actually, here's Munif, one of my longtime students. He says, we're doing a lot of deals here in the SubTo mentorship. I'm posting some of our recent HUDs just from last month below. Say, this is something you want to do. You want to get into a group of people that can help you. And you want to be able to have those people all over the country. So there you go, 70,000 people all over the country. That means we have about 1,200 or so in every state on average. You need to tie in and get boots on the ground by making friends with people and collaborating. That is the very long answer, but also short answer in some regard. So hopefully that helps you. All right, let's go back to, oh, dang. I wasn't actually showing you my screen. I'm so sorry. Let's try it again. Present. I think I had share screen. Oh yeah, okay, I did. I'm sorry, I did show you the screen. Cool, it did pop up. So there you go. There's the answer. You need to find boots on the ground. Okay. Jackson Sandlin says, how do you build equity? Well, you build equity two different ways. Okay. The first way you build equity is you have your tenants pay it off for you. Okay. Your tenants are actually the ones that are primarily building your equity for you. So equity, let's say I buy a house worth 100,000, I pay 100,000 for a house that's worth 100,000. Appreciation, right? The value of the property goes up to $200,000. The main thing you need is the time and the market conditions to raise the property value. And then the other way is your tenants slowly pay your property down to zero. Okay. So your tenants do that. This is why you need cash flowing properties, is because this little spread here between 200,000 and zero is your equity. That's how you build equity. There you go. Boom. Let me make sure that or you can add value. Dylan has that correct. Let's go back to Rob Built's channel, because that's what I promised I was going to do. I'm sorry, I get sidetracked. All right, so that was the first question. Left out some key issues. Terms of loan is usually shorter and then requires a balloon payment or refinancing. If the seller does not own the property outright, the seller's lender can foreclose on the seller and evict the buyer for violating the alienation clause. So Eric Fodder, thank you so much, Eric, for jumping in here. I can tell by your answer that you have not done many of these deals. You might be in the real estate business, like maybe a loan officer or a real estate agent. You have some education, but not the full education. So I came in here and actually gave you the full education right here on YouTube. I gave you the true answer. Okay. So Eric Fodder came in, he watched it, he says, thanks, watch that. What happens if the bank is not open to that scenario? Is only option to refinance? No. So we've gone through and we've had the due on sale clause called on us multiple times. Okay, so let's talk about that for a second. Due on sale clause. It's the boogeyman of creative finance. It's the thing that scares everybody. The due on sale clause is a real thing. It does happen. I've had the due on sale clause happen to me. If you want a longer answer for it, here's what I would suggest you do. Let's go to YouTube again. Okay. We will go to YouTube and I will show you guys how to look up long videos with Pace Morby due on sale clause that are like 45 minutes each. Okay. So go to my YouTube channel. I have long videos. If I had another 2 or 3 hours, I would give longer answers to these, but I won't. So let's go to the YouTube channel. Go YouTube, cool, Pace Morby, due on sale. Okay. Due on sale, due on sale, due on sale, due on sale. Here you go, due on sale clause, part 1 and part 2. Okay, so I streamed these part 1 and part 2. I actually did 3 hours total. So an hour and a half here and an hour and a half here. And I answered the questions about the due on sale clause, exactly what happens with the due on sale clause. Not only, guys, am I a real estate investor, but I own title and escrow companies. Okay. You guys are out there using title and escrow companies. I own a title and escrow company. I have attorneys that work for me at my title and escrow companies. What does that mean for me? It means that I understand the laws quite a bit. We run companies that we provide title insurance, and we go through and do thousands of these transactions all over the country, not just my own transactions, but other people's transactions. We are probably, I don't know anybody else that's a more educated person on the due on sale clause than me. I still to this day have not found anybody higher level than me. Okay. Nathan King, Pace, do you feel like a good seller finance deal will sell anywhere, especially multifamily? No, I don't. I don't think that a creative finance deal, a good seller financing deal in the middle of nowhere, in the middle of the desert, is not going to sell. There's no buyers, right? You got to find somewhere that has a population. So yes, a good seller finance deal that has a population of people, couple dozen people got to be there to at least have a gas station, for heaven's sake. So that's a loaded question, my friend. A loaded question. So due on sale clause. If you guys have questions about the due on sale clause, I'll be very quick with this. Go to my YouTube channel, type in Pace Morby due on sale clause. I think collectively I have about 5 hours of training on the due on sale clause. Or if you have another issue, then go in and type in Pace Morby Sean St. Clair. And my attorney, Sean St. Clair, has actually gone on our live podcast and answered the questions about the due on sale clause. The people that have a worry about the due on sale clause are typically people that are uneducated. That is from the words of my attorney, who has done thousands of SubTo and seller finance transactions. If you have a problem with the due on sale clause, it means you're typically uneducated, inexperienced, and you don't know the real laws about due on sale clause. No, a bank cannot just come in here, okay, and take a house from you because of the alienation or the acceleration clause is what it's actually called. Acceleration clause, due on sale, or calling the note due is what it's called. It does happen, and you just need to know what to do about it. And I gave you guys the training on the YouTube channel, so go check that out. So let's go back to the channel with Rob Hill. I'll go through and answer the other questions. He's freaking great, by the way. I don't know. His team is so good at editing. It's silly how good they are. I wish my team was as good at editing as they are, but we'll get there. Our team is improving, getting better every single day. Ooh, this is good. Daniel Grier, I can tell you're also not a student of mine, okay? Because here's what I would do. Not trying to sell mentorships, but you need to find a mentor that's willing to give you their credibility. You need to find a mentor that's willing to give you their proof of funds, okay? So for example, let's go to mine, all right? If you go to mine and you go to my private Facebook group with my students, one of the biggest things that my students get is my credibility. So if you have a mentor that's not letting you use their credibility, by the way, here's a Zoom link I just gave my students of an agent I just closed a deal with and a seller I just closed a deal with. Here's my weekly schedule with my students. And then boom, right here, new credibility email with a proof of funds. Never share this outside of our student base. Never give this link to anyone unless you're working a deal with them. So work with my students. Here's what you'll see is that you will see every 30 days or so, I will go in here and create a new credibility email. Okay. I will create a credibility video that my students can actually share with their sellers. And I break down who I am, how many properties I own, the businesses I own. I do this every 30 days. I talk about the houses I just closed. I talk about addresses. I zoom in on things. I show settlement statements. I show addresses, close of escrow dates, settlement statements, insurance policies. I show them everything. Okay. So this is me going through and doing all this kind of stuff. Check this out. This is even better. You're asking about, this is a deal I just closed last week, 264 units. I go in and I actually log into my bank account and I show them not just a bank account, but I show them my bank account. Check this out. I actually log into my bank account right here. Here's my username. You guys can go try and hack my Chase. Good luck. And I go in here, sorry, And I show my students, or I'm sorry, I'm not showing my students this. I'm giving this to my students every single month to go in and actually show their sellers, hey, this guy's my partner. Here's 3.5 million. I don't know what it shows. It shows up as 3.5 million bucks, something like that. Okay. There's a proof of funds. That is the greatest proof of funds you'll ever get, is getting it from somebody you are partnering with. So if you don't have a mentor, I would suggest you get a mentor. Okay. And get one that is willing to give you their credibility. Okay. Get somebody that is willing to give you access to their credibility, all the deals they've done, all the money they have in their bank account. That's what I do for my students, is I show my students, go, you're partnered with me. We're partnering on deals. Go show this credibility email, this Loom video that I made. Go show that with your sellers. Okay. Jamar says, hey, Pace, how will taxes work on SubTo when it comes to depreciation and interest? Who claims it on their taxes, the seller or me? So Jamar 5, the owner of the property claims the depreciation. Okay. The owner to the property claims the depreciation. So if I bought a property on SubTo or seller finance, I am the owner, not the seller. The seller is now the bank. They don't own the property. I own the property. So I get all the depreciation. Great question. Really great question. So let's go back to the Raw Built channel. So sorry, guys. Also, for some of you guys that don't know about this YouTube video, please go in there and give it some love. Go make a comment. Here's what I'm going to do. I'm not going to answer any more questions in the side chat. I'm only going to answer questions in the YouTube comments over there. Okay. So please do me a favor and go over to that YouTube channel and ask a question over there so I can answer the questions on this channel. Okay, cool. So next question. Payment has been made, video editor. Okay, that was a funny one. Pace, I'm confused. Did I miss, what if the owner is paid for agreeing to this? Did I miss what the owner of the property is paid for agreeing to this? Okay, great. Molly's calling me, my operations manager. Okay, Pace, I'm confused. Did the owner of the property get paid? So on this particular deal, the one that I did with the deal I collaborated with Raw Build on, no, the seller did not get paid $1. Okay, the agent got paid $2,000. Now I did a video all about I came out of pocket, no money. So here's what I do. All right, pay attention to this. This will help you understand how a lot of zero out of pocket deals get done. It doesn't mean, okay, Daniel Grier, type in. Okay, Tony Power says, Pace, you're the freaking man. You helped me get started. Awesome. Okay. Raw Built says, like and subscribe. Go give Raw Built some love over there. Molly might be telling me that my appointment's canceled. Hold on. Let's ask Molly. Because if my appointment's canceled, I can answer questions longer. Hold on. Hey, you're on a YouTube live. Just FYI, what's up?
Hey. Oh, I just got done with that interview.
Oh, sweet. Okay, cool. I thought you were telling me that maybe my appointment at 4:15 was moving or canceling, but
no, not canceling.
Okay, I got to go then.
Okay, bye.
Bye. Okay, cool. So go to, if you guys want to be a part of my Facebook group and you need connection to my students all over the country, go to Creative Finance with Pace Morby on Facebook and you can find it there. But let's go over to the YouTube channel. The YouTube link does work, guys. I promise you it does work. I copied it directly from YouTube. It does work. So for some of you guys that are having a hard time, here's what I would do. Okay, let me walk you through this. Here's what I would do. Let's go to YouTube. All you have to do is type in Raw Built, ROBUILT. Type it in. It is the latest video of his. It's right here. Click on it. Come down here. Ask a question, and I will. And by the way, see this little subscribe button? I subscribe to him. My team subscribes to him. This dude's freaking genius. You got to be over here subscribing right here. Okay. So yeah, on this particular deal, the seller did not make $1. And for you to understand why the seller did not make $1, you have to understand what was going on. The seller bought the property about a year ago. He bought it with a VA loan. And with that VA loan, that means he put no money down. All right. So that means he has no equity. And then on top of that, the market has been trending downward. So he's not only has no equity, but he is underwater. Right. And now you got to ask this question of why would Pace buy that property? Well, remind yourself, I'm a real estate investor. Okay. I'm not a fix and flipper necessarily. I do fix and flip. We do probably 10 a year. But in this situation, I'm a real estate investor. I'm investing in real estate. And if somebody comes to you and says, I can give you 3% interest on a a piece of debt that you don't have to qualify for. You don't have to go through an appraisal. You don't have to go through a credit check. You don't have to go through job history. You don't have to go through any of that kind of stuff. And it cash flows on day one. But you have to pay the real estate agent $2,000 for putting this together. Yeah, all day long. Well, guess what? It's underwater. My response to anybody that has a conversation about the property is underwater is this: equity comes and equity goes, but the cash will always flow. Real estate investors buy cash flow. I'm not going and trying to buy equity. Where equity comes from is my tenants paying down the debt. I don't pay down the debt. My tenants pay down the debt. So my job is to go out and acquire properties and acquire debt so I can get an army of tenants paying off an army of debt. And the lower that interest rate is, the faster that debt gets paid off. So my job is to go out and acquire cash flowing assets. And so that's what I did. I acquired a cash flowing asset. Seller got paid nothing because they didn't have equity. They were happy to walk away from the payments because they needed to go get a job, or they got a job somewhere else. And I paid the seller a finder's fee. Now, where did the $2,000 come from? Where did my closing costs come from? Where did the furnishings and the Airbnb stuff come from? I brought in a private money lender. Okay. I brought in a private money lender. So I'm literally $0 out of pocket. My cash flow from the Airbnb will pay off my private money lender. Hopefully that makes sense for you. Okay. A lot of my people are in here. Guys, do me a favor, guys. Okay. Oh, look, Abdul is trying to sell me Bitcoin. Why are you guys always trying to sell Bitcoin? Come on. Guys, do me a favor. Give some love to Robilt. Get over there, subscribe to his channel. We've got about 600 people watching live right now. Go over to the channel. Let's do some Q&A. Thank you so much. I've answered probably 4 questions. We'll keep it going. Thank you. All right, next question. That was amazing. Thank you, Robin Pace. Heck yeah. Question for Pace. Is there ever an issue with existing bank mortgage having due on sale language? Answered that previously. I also came in here earlier this morning like a boss, and I said, go watch these YouTube videos. Oh, they blocked it from happening. But I did tell Kimberly, I said, I have a YouTube channel with 1,200 videos on specifically focus on creative, blah, blah, blah. You will learn so much there. But the answer to your question is yes. And then, yeah, I gave her the direction. So I've already answered the question on due on sale. So going forward, if there's a due on sale question, I'm just going to skip it. Victa Crum, cool. Love this. I've been interested for a while in getting into SubTo. My question is, when you find a good deal and get the seller to agree, are you the buyer in charge of organizing everything, going to the recorder's office, new title, getting the debt services, etc.? Does the seller's agent do that? No. Great question. I love this question. The answer to that question is the title company does that, or the closing attorney, depending on the state you're in. If I'm in Georgia, Marcia Wallace does that for me. She's my closing attorney in Atlanta, Georgia. If I'm in Texas, I'll use Scott Horn, or I'll use Allison Tipton. We have about 5 attorneys in all the attorney states, and we usually have 4 or 5 title companies that do that in every single state. All 50 states do subject to seller finance. Doesn't matter if you're in California, New Jersey, New York, Washington, California. We said California twice now. Florida, Texas, whatever. It does not matter. Okay. Thank you, Michelle, for subscribing to Robilt. He's an amazing human being. Thank you. And anybody that allows me to collaborate with them, we want to make sure we give them a lot of love and make some comments down here down in this video as well. So Victor, the thing is, the reason you pay a closing attorney, or the reason you pay an escrow officer, is for them to do all that. They set up the servicing. They make sure that the deed gets transferred. They're the ones that set up title insurance. They're the ones that do all the paperwork and call the seller and make sure that the final closing documents get recorded at the county recorder's office. They do all of that stuff. That's what you pay them for. You don't have to do any of that. Okay. John, you always got to love John Kane, who obviously shows up late. John Kane. I did answer the question about who gets the tax deduction on a SubTo mortgage. It was the first question I answered, and you, John, did show up late. So here's what you should do when you ask questions: is you should say, I showed up late. I apologize if you answered this question already, because John, we did answer the question. The answer is the owner of the property gets the tax deduction. So now the real question you got to ask yourself is, who's the owner of the property in a SubTo transaction? Me. I'm the investor. The deed comes into my name. So think about this for a second, okay? In a SubTo transaction, you guys are confusing the debt and the ownership as if it's the same thing. They are not the same thing. The mortgage and the ownership are two completely separate documents. One of them is called a mortgage. The other one is called the deed or the title. These are two separate documents. I can transfer a deed into my name, but keep the debt in the seller's name, and the owner of the property gets the tax deduction. So every time I buy a property subject to, you guys can go and watch hundreds of deal breakdowns that I have on my YouTube channel. On all of my properties, get the tax deduction. I get the depreciation. I get the benefits. I get the interest write-off. I get the deduction for the tax depreciation. 100% of it comes to me because guess what? The seller is not the owner anymore. I am the owner. Okay. I am the owner of that property. So thank you so much for the asking. Yeah. John, don't be sorry, brother. I'm not saying you should be sorry for showing up late. Okay. I'm just saying that I did answer the question and you told me I didn't. So I just want to make sure you and I are on the same page. That's all. Okay. Great question. I really do like that question. Okay, cool. You got that. What happens if this case stopped making payments for whatever reason? This was the second question I answered today. What happens if Pace stops making those payments? We already covered that. Eric Fodder says left out some key issues. I've already answered this as well. He also got the video, by the way, and he liked that. And then I also answered that. Okay. Can't the bank call the loan due if there's a change? Again, due on sale clause. I don't know what it is about you guys. You guys are really obsessed with this due on sale clause situation, but it's a good question, but we've also answered it 4 times. So let's move on to some other questions. As other mentions, what if the buyer, okay, we've already answered that question. Ooh, I like this one. I don't understand how he is legally carrying this many mortgages. I like this question a lot. I am always curious where that question comes from. So I try and put my mind in there. First and foremost, if you are a licensed real estate agent, you are required to learn seller carryback executory contracts subject to in real estate school. It's also in your continued education courses. These things are not just legal, but they are taught to licensed real estate agents. In fact, if you think about this one's an interesting one. I think a lot of people miss out on this. If I go to, let's do a little screen share on this one. If I go to landwatch.com, this one's a really good one because it just shows you how many opportunities there are out there. And I click on United States owner finance listings. Check that out. How many listings are there right now on owner financing across the country? 12,728. Half of these are probably subject to, the other half are seller finance. Okay, but owner finance is kind of a blanket term. I can also go to Crexi. Okay, Crexi is pretty gangster for this as well. And I can come in here and I can say owner finance. Okay. So here we go. Boom. Look at all this. Owner finance, owner finance, owner finance, owner finance, owner finance, owner finance, owner all over the country. Land, motels, hotels, car washes. You want a car wash in Mission, Texas? There you go. All on owner finance. Fully functional, 24 hours. Boom, 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 boom. Fully functional. Let's see. Owner will provide P&L to qualify. Anyways, it will say owner finance in all the listings. Every single one of these is owner finance. Now, I looked at this property yesterday right here. I like this one. This would be like a really great content studio for multiple content providers or not providers, but content creators. Create an office in the front, do a warehouse in the back, and you're creating studios and podcast spots and all that kind of stuff. This is owner finance. Owner willing to sell a building to do owner finance with the right conditions. This is happening all over the country. And for you guys that have limited education, doesn't mean you're stupid, doesn't mean you're unintelligent. Okay. Crexi is free, except Crexi is free, except I do pay $2,500 a year for additional information. So if you go to Crexi, like all this stuff down here, all these comparisons and like the demographic insights of what's going on, this is not free, right? Population, household income, this added layer of stuff on Crexi, this is about $300 a month or so. Hell, you can use my Crexi account for all I care. I don't care. But it's really good. Hi, my wife is in here. Hi, sweetheart. Good to see you. So guys, go over to the YouTube channel. If you guys have questions, go over to the YouTube video that Rob built and I did. That's where I'm answering the questions currently. Okay, so let's go back to that. All right. Don't understand how he's legally carrying all these mortgages. Well, it's not illegal to carry a mortgage. All right. This is what's amazing. Check this out. This one's probably even better. Let's go here and let's say buy and sell mortgage notes. You know, there's full on websites, Boston No, no commission or closing costs, sell private mortgage, cash for your mortgage notes. Guys, paper stack, buy or sell or buy mortgage notes on mortgage note trading, paperstack.com. Check it out. This is prevalent. This is common. It's just that your circle of influence or your circle of education has not exposed you to this yet. It is very common. Thousands and thousands and thousands of investors are doing this all over the nation, and they are dominating. Creative finance is way easier to buy real estate, way easier to buy real estate than traditional. In fact, I will not buy another traditional deal in my life. There's too many opportunities. So your two paddles, 8239, love the question. But I just showed you 3 or 4 websites where you can find thousands of these opportunities. Also, the real estate license requires you to know what a seller carryback is. A seller carryback is you carrying a note. The seller is carrying a note for you. The buyer is carrying a note. Okay, pretty cool. Elliot C. Rosen says, the hype was real, Rob. Truly one of your best videos yet. Thank you, Elliot. Really, really appreciate it. I wish I could give you a heart. Appreciate sharing this to your community. What if he wants to use his VA loan again? I love that one. That's a great question. Okay. So just like so many things on my YouTube channel, you can type in just about any question you have, and I have a 2 to 20 minute answer for it. If you need more in-depth knowledge, you can ask one of my students. SubTo students are in my free Facebook group. I tell you guys that all the time. VA loans all come down to your credits, your VA loan credits, right? So I have a seller that's gotten up to 5 VA loans all simultaneously. Does not stop you from a SubTo deal, does not stop you by itself from getting another VA loan. Perfectly fine for you to have multiple VA loans, okay? As long as it all fits within your credits. How did you get the sellers to trust? How did you get the sellers to trust you to be able to have them just sign over the deed to you? Was this because you have a realtor convince them? No. Great question. Love that. Thank you so much. The realtor actually had never done a SubTo deal before. The realtor's name is Robbie. Did a whole video testimonial with Robbie. It's on my YouTube channel. Robbie's like, dude, Pace came and saved the day. Surprise, surprise. That's what SubTo and seller finance does a lot of times, is it saves the day. Okay. And the real estate agent was about to lose his listing. Think about this. Okay. Think about this as a real estate opportunity. Right now, real estate agents are getting their butts kicked because days on market have 5x'd, 6x'd, right? And what do I mean by that? Back in January, we had about 3,000 to 4,000 properties on the MLS, active listings. We now have over 20,000. So you have 6 times more listings in the market. And people keep saying demand is so high. Demand is so high. Oh my gosh, we have a demand issue. Guys, your demand can be as strong as it possibly can. But if your buyer and their affordability can't buy a house because interest rates are at 6%, then those houses sit on the market. And what happens for a lot of those sellers, right? This is a really good one. I'll show you guys something magical, magical stuff. You will see that just in the last quarter, about 450,000 mortgages are underwater. Okay. So let's pull that up for a second. 450,000 mortgages are underwater. Let's say Yahoo Finance mortgages underwater. I don't know where I saw the article. So there it is. 270,000 homeowners who bought in 2022 are currently underwater. Okay. And then it goes into, okay, story continues. Such loans, blah, 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 FHA, recent buyers at risk. Okay, here we go. Most of the folks at risk having their loans slip underwater were those who purchased when homes were at their highest. So think about people in the last couple of years. They are, oh, by the way, look at this. Interest rates were in 2006 all the way to 6.5. We are beyond that now. We're in worse situations than we were in 2006. Man, we've been lucky, huh? Anyway, this goes in and talks about how many homes are currently underwater and how many agents are having a hard time selling these properties. So think about this. Oops, I'm not sharing. My bad. I apologize. Sorry, guys. I'm not looking at the comments on my YouTube channel. I'm looking at the posts or the comments on on Rob Built's channel. Okay. So if you guys if you have a question, go over there. Okay, please. And also subscribe when you're over there. So this Yahoo Finance and probably 50 other articles talks about how many sellers are currently underwater right now. You guys just don't know. You're not exposed to this. I'm exposed to this. This is the business that I'm in. Okay. Ooh, this is good. Oh, this is so good. I love this. Matt says, I have a seller who wants to do a 1031 exchange, is willing to do seller financing, but his accountants told him he cannot hold the note due to a 1031. That means that his CPA knows less about accounting than I do. Surprise, surprise, guys. You have accountants that know less than I do. You have full-on CPAs, and you have people that are doing 1031 exchanges that don't know as much as I do. The fact is, we do 1031 exchanges with seller finance. Okay. And I'll show you guys the actual stipulation in the government. The IRS says that it's perfectly legal. Okay. Toby Mathis from Anderson Business Advisors. It is called the Statute 26 USC for 1031 exchanges, and it is perfectly legal. The statute's 26. I'm sorry. The regulations cover them are called 26 CFR. I'll just copy and paste it for heaven's sakes. How about that? It's too. Your CPA doesn't know anything. Like that's the thing about creative finance and all these people that say it's not possible. Meanwhile, we're doing it. Meanwhile, it's in the IRS code. Meanwhile, you have to be in order to get a licensed real estate or a license to be a real estate agent, you have to know and pass a test that talks about seller carrybacks. You have to know subject to. You have to know executory contracts, which is land contracts, contract for deed, agreement for sale. These are all things taught in real estate school. Yet I have real estate agents making comments and saying, how is this possible? Well, here's how it's possible. You didn't pay attention to school, and you probably got a barely passing 76% on your real estate exam. And you're wondering what happened to the other 24%? I don't know. 5% of it was probably the creative finance stuff you skimmed over. Okay. It absolutely is happening all the time. And see, here's a good question. Cathal says, not all CPAs are tax pros. They are only required to take one tax class in college. A stands for accountant. There you go. So I'm telling you, it is amazing how much more you will learn in my ecosphere than an actual CPA learned in college. It's bonkers, but it is what it is. Okay, I've got 8 more minutes before I got to go to an appointment to buy another house. What about the due on sale clause? Well, we already answered that. In fact, I think I gave you the link. Boom, boom, boom. There you go. For the same payment Pace now has to pay for taking over VA loan, couldn't he have found a better property? Yes, Pete. But then what do I have to do? Okay, this tells me the question that you're asking tells me a couple of things. It tells me that you're not actively out there buying real estate. Otherwise, you would say, holy moly, this is genius. You mean you don't have to go through a credit check? You mean you don't have to put a down payment down? You mean nobody does a job verification? You don't have to have everybody sniffing through every orifice of your business, your personal life, et cetera, just for you to get approved by a lender, just to have the lender at the last minute renegotiate or tell you they can't get the deal done? Oh my gosh, you can avoid all of that stuff over and over and over and over and over and over and over. Wow, this makes so much sense why you bought a property this way, right? So it just comes down to what you've been exposed to. I don't like going through lenders. It's an arduous, tedious journey, whereas I can go directly to a title company with a seller and get a deal done right now without an agent involved, without a broker involved, without a lender involved, and I can get a deal done in 12 hours. Okay? It is absolutely bonkers how much easier it is for me to go out and buy creative finance deals than it ever will be to buy a cash deal. So if you guys are trying to get into short-term rental, definitely Rob Hill is the guy to teach you. But if you're trying to acquire some of these houses, the best way to do it, in my opinion, is creative finance. I will never do another cash deal in my life because it's 4 times, 5 times harder, more challenging, and you have way more people involved. Think about this on a SubTo deal. I'm not asking for a payoff from their lender. My lender's not providing loan documents because I don't have a lender. I'm not talking to their lender. I don't go through an appraisal. I don't go through an inspection. I don't go through all of these things like surveys, et cetera. I can literally just go to a title company, transfer the deed in one day, and that property is mine. Why would I do that any other way? Why would I do that any other way? Okay. Pace, Dr. 3 Nasty says, Pace, what's the #1 place to find foreclosure leads to get a SubTo deal? I would go to PropStream, batch leads, foreclosures daily. the list goes on and on and on and on and on. My wife's YouTube channel, she actually goes to the county recorder's or the county clerk's office, and she shows you how to pull a foreclosure list for free. So if you're budget friendly or you're budget, like heavily budget minded, my wife, Laura Morby, go to her YouTube channel and she actually shows you how to go pull foreclosures, and she shows you that for free. Daniel Greer says, how do I contact the seller directly? Daniel, there was this thing invented back about 14 years ago. I know I'm joking, I'm being sarcastic, but you literally call the seller directly. Or a really great way to do it, if you guys are looking for deals, this is what I would do. You could go to Privy. Let's go to Privy just real quick. If you guys go to Privy, go to Start with Privy is the link for this. Start with Privy. And what you can do is you can see all the houses on the market. Let's go single family, active, and let's go to pre-foreclosures. Run a search. Okay. Now what you're going to do is now Privy is going to do its thing, and it's going to pull up all the foreclosures for the nation. There you go. Boom. Look at Florida, man. Florida be popping off. These people over here need to be paying their mortgages. Okay. These people are in foreclosure. So you can call the agent, Jason Sita. You see how fast that was? That's why Privy's so gangster. Like I can just click on a filter and very quickly get that. So if I want something else, okay, pre-foreclosures or foreclosures, you can click on both of them or neither. A filter I really like is I want days on market. I want low 90 days on market. Okay, watch this. So now I'm going to find houses that have been listed on the market for over 90 days. What does that typically tell you? Typically tells you that the sellers are in some sort of situation where they are having a hard time selling a house, right? The house has been on the market for 90 days minimum. Okay, past month, date range. Let's see, days on market, listing source, all. Okay, let's see. Yeah, 90. Let's do 45 days. You guys can see. Oh, you guys can't even see this. Crap. I'm sorry, guys. When I'm zooming and moving, I forget to do all that stuff. Let me show you the foreclosures one last time. Okay, I'll show you foreclosures so you can see this. So again, start with privy.com. If I click on foreclosures, let me clean up that filter real fast. Let me take days off market off and run a search. So you'll see here's all the foreclosures. It's that easy. I can click on any of these right now. Boom. Here's the Carrie Cruz. Ooh, that's cute. This house is in foreclosure right now. 336 North Walnut Street, Stark, Florida. I can call the agent right here, right now and say, hey, would the seller be willing to let me take over payments if I could get your commission paid? Boom. There you go. Very simple. All right. Let's answer one more question, and then I got to bounce because I got an appointment to go buy another house. Devin Blaine, I appreciate you. I actually had a phone call with you today. Thank you so much. Great humans to give. Okay. Does the lender know you're taking? Okay. We've already answered that question. Can an LLC continue to pay his mortgage instead of me as a person? Yes. So I actually utilize I only buy properties in my LLC, and I use a company called West Star Loan Servicing to go through and set up all those payments to be pulled out of my LLC's bank account and pay the mortgage. The seller never receives the money direct. Maj. So should a homestead owner be worried about being underwater if the average homeowner lives there for the next 7 to 10 years? Absolutely not. No, they should not worry about that at all. Okay, man, this is good. Grace, Grace, here's what I would do. Reach out to my students. Okay. Here's what I'm going to show you. I'm going to show you to do this. Okay. Grace is the last thing I'm going to show. Please know that I'm doing this because I want to teach you how to be resourceful. Watch this. Okay. Go to YouTube, type in Pace Morby JV. Okay. You're going to see a video I did wearing a stupid cowboy hat. All right. And this video, you will see, I talk about how you can work with my students. Okay. And you will actually have one of my students right here, Eddie Charger, comes in. He's upstairs in my studio. I'm downstairs in my other studio. And Eddie Charger is in Atlanta. Here's what I want you to do. Go watch this video. Again, type in YouTube, Pace Morby JV. This video will pop up. I'm going to teach you to be resourceful. Go watch this video. And Eddie Charger actually lives in Atlanta, Georgia. And he will give you the closing attorney's information instead of me. Why am I doing that? Because you need more people in your local area helping you. This is why I built a community of people rather than just videos. Videos are not going to help you. Videos are here to inspire you and give you permission and show you that it's possible. But after the videos, you need a community of people that are actually on the boots on the ground in your local area that can help you change your life, because we're all monkey see, monkey do type of people. I can't do something that I can't physically see. Okay. Maybe some of you guys are different than me, but that's how I am. So anyway, hopefully this was helpful. Rob Ilt, please guys, go over to Rob Ilt's YouTube channel. I'm going to give you guys this link one more time. Please go over and subscribe to him. The guy gave me a bunch of love on the channel. The guy gave me an opportunity to highlight what creative finance is all about. So I want to give you guys the link one more time to that channel. Please go over there. Please give him some love. Please subscribe to him and ask him. Okay. Go down into the comments and ask questions. I'll do this again. Okay. Do I have a property or students in Louisiana? Karen, I don't have a single state or a single city in the United States without dozens of students. We are the largest community in real estate. We are the biggest go-giving community in real estate. There's not a city, there's not a state that we do not encompass. We are everywhere. Okay. So hopefully this, Jean-Pierre says, can I have the recordings? Just go, I'm going to leave it on YouTube. You guys can rewatch it again. Appreciate you guys so much. I wish I had 3 hours, 4 hours. You know how I usually do it. Give Rob Ilt some love, and we'll see you guys in another episode. I got to go buy a house. Bye.